Many years ago, in the beautiful city of Port Harcourt, there lived a young woman whose name was Tina. Tina was very beautiful and very smart. She grew up in a very strict household. Her father was a very strict man, and whenever her dad had any argument with her mother, he would stop giving her money. He would leave her with nothing, not even money to buy food or to take care of the children. Tina would always see her mother suffer in silence many times and would even watch her beg for help just to feed the family. So from a very young age, Tina made a decision in her heart. She said to herself, no matter who I marry, I must have my own money. I will never depend on any man, just the same way my mother depends on my father. And years later, Tina met a handsome man whose name was Kelechi. He was calm, respectful, and hardworking. And he loved Tina deeply and treated her like a queen. So after dating for about 2 years, they both got married. Kelechi, on the other hand, grew up very differently from Tina. His own father took very good care of the family. As a matter of fact, his mother never worked a day in her life. She stayed at home, raised the children, and enjoyed her peace. And Kelechi saw this as a good life. And that was exactly what he wanted to give to his wife as well. So after the wedding, Kelechi sat his wife down and said, my love, now that we are married, I do not want you to work any longer. I just want you to be fine for me. I just want you to stay at home and eat my money, enjoy my money, use my money to paint your face, paint your nails, make your hair, buy anything that you want. Just spoil yourself silly. That is why I am here. Kelechi said lovingly. But Tina just smiled and said nothing. Initially, she tried though. She tried to enjoy just being a full-time housewife. She would sleep, watch her favorite shows, sometimes even visit friends. And on top of that, Kelechi gave her 500,000 naira every month as personal monthly upkeep. So she would use the money to get anything that she needed for herself. But then, after a while, Tina started feeling restless. She remembered how her mother suffered in the hands of her father, how her mother had no say in the family at all because she had no money to herself. So one morning, Tina looked at Kelechi and said, my dear, I want to apply for a job. I'm tired of just being a stay-at-home wife. I'm tired of being Oreako. I want to work. I want to use my brain. Tina said. Kelechi looked at her with surprise and said, you want to work here? Why? Am I not taking good care of you? Kelechi asked. But then Tina looked at him and said, you are, my dear, you are trying. But I need to work. I want to do something meaningful with my life. I don't want to depend on anyone for money. I don't want to depend on you. Tina responded. And then Kelechi laughed softly and said, Tina, relax now. Okay. I understand what you are trying to tell me. All these things that you're trying to use corner to tell me. The 500,000 I give you is no longer enough, right? You want me to increase it, is that it? Okay, no problem. I will increase your allowance. Just tell me, how much do you want every month? Kelechi asked. But then Tina responded and said, oh, it's not about the money. I just want to be independent. I want to be an independent woman. I don't want to rely on you for every kobo. No, now, I don't want it. Tina replied. And so, Kelechi tried to convince her. He told her that his mother never worked a day in her life and she was always happy. He reminded Tina that he had promised to take care of her. But then Tina refused to change her mind. She wanted to work and that was it. So Kelechi, regardless, increased her allowance from 500,000 naira to 700,000 naira. But Tina still took the money, yet began to apply for jobs. Then barely 2 months later, Kelechi still increased the allowance to 1 million naira every month, thinking that with that kind of huge amount, she would finally let the idea go. But Tina did not. One night, Kelechi could not sleep well. He sat up and watched his wife sleeping peacefully beside him. He could not understand why his wife did not want to stay at home and just eat his money and just enjoy his money. He loved her so much and wanted the best for her. But clearly, they had different ideas of what best should look like. So a few days later, Antina got a job as a customer care officer in a small company. And even though her salary was just 150,000 naira and nothing compared to what her husband was giving her, yet Tina was very happy. At least now she finally had her own money that she worked for. So every morning she would wake up early, dress neatly, and then leave for work with a big smile on her face. She was so proud of herself. Initially, Kelechi did not say anything. He just watched her quietly. Sometimes he smiled, sometimes he looked worried, but he did not stop her. Tina, on the other hand, was doing her best at work. She would come very early every day, answer the phone calls politely, smile at everyone, and she took her job very seriously. And even though the salary was small compared to what her husband used to give her, she was proud of it. She would say to herself, at least now I am working. I am using my brain. She enjoyed being a corporate woman, dressing up every morning with neat clothes, neat hair, and all that. And she felt that people respected her more because she was employed. So each time her friends asked her how her marriage was going, she would always say, fine, no, thank God, though. But deep inside, she was happy mostly because of the new job. At home, Kelechi noticed that things began to change as well. He noticed that truly Tina really looked happy, but that she was also a bit more tired. And some nights she would even fall asleep without eating because of how tired she was. And other nights she would just lie in the parlor, rubbing her neck and complaining, saying, my body is paining me, oh. Tina would say. But Kelechi continued to support her quietly. He did not want to argue anymore. He just made sure that he tried his best to help her when she comes back from work. Then one day, while at work, Tina made a mistake. She was attending to a customer on the phone. The customer was angry because of a late delivery. Tina tried her very best to calm the person down. But while trying to transfer the call to her supervisor, she mistakenly pressed the wrong button and the call ended. And within 3 minutes, her boss rushed out of his office angry. Tina, why did you cut that call? Do you know who you were speaking with? He shouted angrily at her. No, sir, it was just a mistake. I didn't know when I pressed the end button. I'm so sorry, I was only trying to transfer the call. Tina said, trying to explain. Mistake? Mistake? Is this your first day of working here? Use your brain, oh, stop behaving like a beauty queen and start acting like someone with sense. Her boss shouted angrily. And by this time, the whole office was quiet. Tina was so shocked. She felt like crying, but she just composed herself. She stood there until her boss walked away. After the close of work, she just went back home quietly. She entered her bedroom, changed her clothes, and just sat on the bed. She did not even eat. She just kept on thinking about her life. Is it me that they shouted at like that today? Like a child, like a 2 years old child? Is it me that my boss embarrassed in front of everybody? For how much? 150,000 naira. Meanwhile, while I was at home enjoying my life, eating chicken, drinking juice, my husband was still giving me 1 million naira. Without shouting at me, oh, still petting me, oh. God, I sure want to walk. Oh, Tina said aloud to herself. Meanwhile, when Kelechi came into the room, he sat beside her. He noticed that she was not looking okay. Are you fine? What's wrong? Kelechi asked. At that point, Tina could not hold it any longer, and tears began to stream down her face. What happened? What happened? Kelechi asked. Then she told him everything, how her boss shouted at her and humiliated her in front of everyone, and how embarrassed she felt, how nobody even stood up for her, how her boss did not even listen to her, that she was only trying to transfer the call and mistakenly ended it. But Kelechi did not say a word, even though he wanted to say, I told you so. He held himself and just held her hand and comforted her. So the next morning, Tina dressed up for work again. But this time, she was not so excited to go to work. She just stood in front of the mirror and looked at herself. She remembered the whole shouting, the embarrassment that happened just the day before. Then she looked at herself one more time and said, "Well, Tina, why are you even suffering yourself? Eh? All those insults just for 150,000 naira. I beg you." So she picked up her phone and typed a short resignation letter and sent to her boss. She was no longer working. She did not want to work any longer. So later in the evening, when Kelechi came back home, he was shocked to meet his wife in the parlor. She was even wearing a loose t-shirt, eating rice and watching television. She did not look like someone that had left the house that whole day. Baby, you did not go to work today? Kelechi asked. My dear, I have resigned though. I have resigned. When I thought about the way that man insulted me yesterday, on top of how much? 150,000 naira. When you, my husband, were giving me 1 million naira, please, I beg. I did not come to this world to suffer. I have resigned, Tina said. And Kelechi just sat down beside her and said, "It's okay, my dear. If you don't want to work, no wahala. Left for me, you know my stand. I don't even want you to work in the first place." Kelechi replied, and so Tina smiled. But after a while, Tina became restless again and began to apply for jobs again. And barely 1 month later, she got another job. And this time, Tina started this new job with excitement. The pay was 250,000 naira and the office looked more beautiful and sophisticated. And her new boss looked like a kind man because he spoke softly and even smiled at her during the interview. So Tina was very happy. For the first few days, everything went smoothly. Tina was working with her full energy. She would answer emails, follow up on clients, join long meetings, and sometimes even stayed back after the closing time just to finish her task. But then little by little, the pressure started building. Every morning, Tina had to leave the house very early just to beat the traffic. And by the time she got to office, she was already tired. Most days she would even come back home around 8 p.m. She would be too exhausted and too tired to even eat or talk. And sometimes she would just drop her bag at the door, remove her shoes, and then lie flat on the rug. She was always tired. This new job, even though it was exciting, was taking a toll on her. Kelechi, as usual, tried to support her. He started helping out more in the house. He would cook sometimes, he would clean, but it did not change the fact that Tina was always stressed. She was tired. Then one night, he found her asleep at the dining table, still wearing her office clothes. He tapped her gently and said, "Babe, please go inside or go inside and sleep." Then she opened her eyes slowly. "My head is pounding. I'm having headache. I think it's even migraine," Tina said, sounding very weak. So the next morning, when she woke up, she called in sick. When she looked at herself in the mirror, she saw dark circles under her eyes. Her skin looked dull, her hair was due, long overdue, but there was no time to make the hair. She had not even fixed her nails in weeks. She did not look like herself, like the hot Tina. And the following day when she resumed at work, her manager kept on piling tasks on her. "Tina, I need the report by 3 p.m. Tina, the MD said you should join the presentation. Tina, have you called those renting customers? Tina, what of that file labeled red?" Tina was sick and tired. Every day she would wake up with body pain. If it was not her shoulder that was paining her, then it was her back. Her eyes were always heavy. Then one Saturday morning, she got fed up. She just busted out into tears. And her husband, her loving and supportive husband, Kelechi, rushed into the room and said, "What is it? What happened? Why are you crying?" And then she said, "I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to work again. I don't want to be a strong woman again. I don't want to be an independent woman again. Every time I leave this house early and come back very late at night, my head is hot, my chest is tight, my back is paining me, everywhere is paining me. I don't want to be an independent woman again." Tina said, crying. And Kelechi just sat beside her and comforted her. Shebi, I told you. I begged you not to work. Why are you even working? How much are they even paying you? Eh? You look tired. You don't look like my wife any longer. You don't need to prove anything to me. I know how valuable you are to me. And I'm not your father. Do not compare me with your father. The fact that your father maltreated your mother does not mean that I will maltreat you. You are my life. I cannot maltreat myself. Please stop working. Because Kelechi said. So that afternoon, Tina just picked up her phone and yet again wrote another resignation letter. After Tina sent her resignation letter, she felt like someone that they had removed a heavy bag from her shoulders. That night, she slept deeply for the first time in a long time. No alarm, no early traffic, no emails waiting to be answered. Just some quiet and rest. Kelechi did not say much. He just simply hugged her and said, "Welcome back, my love." At first, Tina felt strange. She did not know what to do with all the free time in her hands. She would clean the house, rearrange the pantry, and even cook a fresh pot of soup. But something had changed in her. She was no longer fighting to prove anything, no. She wasn't working from stress anymore. She was now working from wisdom. Her new mantra now became, whatever a man can do, let him keep on doing. No longer whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. Then one morning, she was just scrolling through her phone. Then she saw a short video on investing and it caught her attention. And so she watched some more. Then she began to read simple guides on how to save and invest. So with the 1 million naira that Kelechi gave her monthly, she decided to try something new rather than spending all of it. She opened a small savings account. She also joined a women's investment group on WhatsApp. And every month, if she was not investing in stocks or shares, she was investing in commercial papers or treasury bills or mutual funds, she was investing her money wisely. And by the end of the third month, Tina was already making a steady profit of over 180,000 naira without having any physical business. It was even higher than the salary she was paid for her first job. But this time, there was no boss to insult her, no traffic, no headache, no body pains. It was simply her money working for her. Now she had peace of mind and she still had her own money because now she was making money from the money that her husband gave her. And most importantly, she had her husband's support. And for the first time in a long time, she truly enjoyed her life. She had tested a working class life, a career woman life, and also tested an Odogu's wife, an Oga's wife. And she now realized that for her, to be an Oga's wife was 10 times better than to be a career woman. At least nobody was insulting her. So now, each time people asked her whether she was working, she would say, yes, so I work from home, my dear, and I love it. Kelechi was so happy that his wife had decided to be a stay-at-home wife, to sit back, relax, and enjoy his money. After all, he was working so hard for her. Then one evening, while they were having dinner at the balcony, Tina held Kelechi's hand and then said, my husband, Dimoma, Odimnobi, Odogu, Odogu Nkim, thank you so much. Now I see what you were trying to tell me all this while. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for loving me through my stubbornness. And thank you for not being like my father. Thank you so much, Tina said. Then Kelechi simply smiled and said, thank you for coming back to peace. Thank you for staying back at home and eating my money. I work for you. You are the apple of my eyes. You are the proof that I have money. It has to show in your body that I have money, Kelechi said. And then they both laughed. Then that night, Tina posted a short message on her WhatsApp status and said, Omo, I have tasted what it means to be a career woman and I have tasted what it means to be a Wunye Odogu, Achalugo, Oga's wife. And to all the women out there, I recommend Oga's wife. It is way much more better, she posted. And so a few months later, she took in, and few months after that, she gave birth to twin beautiful babies. She was so happy. She became the proudest stay-at-home mom ever and continued to live a soft life, enjoying her husband's money and investing, letting her money work for her. And they both lived happily ever after. Hi besties, it's your favorite storyteller, Omalicha. Thank you so much for watching my story to the end. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to be a career woman? Like a career woman, you have your own thing, you're working in your professional field and all of that. Or do you truly prefer to be a pampered wife? Like to be a wunye odogu, like you're not working, but you don't lack. And it's not that you just have money to do the basic things. Like you have much more than enough money to invest, to buy lands, to build houses and all that. Like your husband is giving you money, but you are a stay-at-home wife and mom, taking care of the house, being there for your children. Which do you truly prefer? Well, as for me, I'm undecided yet. Like literally, I don't know for myself. But then I'd like to hear from you. Which would you prefer? Or do you think that we can have the best of both worlds, like being a career woman, all of that stuff, and still having a husband that gives you all the money in the whole world? Please share your thoughts with me in the comment section. And please support your home girl, Omalicha, by subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, and sharing with your loved ones. So now, till I come your way again with more interesting stories, bye!